Hello, El Paso. Welcome to another segment of Local Icons. And today we have an extremely important guest with us today. And I must say, man, this is history in El Paso.
Definitely. I'm very excited, honestly. It's an honor to have this amazing person joining us today.
Absolutely.
Super duper excited, and I actually got to meet her when she first started. And I think you did too, right?
Yeah, I actually met her
way before.
Way before. She was about 14 years old, and she came to LAT's modeling division, and she did about a year or so of modeling. Then she went back into sports, that's kind of like her thing. That was her forte. But man, I mean, she's come a long way, and she beat the odds, to say the least.
Definitely, and we're lucky that we got to see, her entire progress and growth, and now get to share this success with her. And born and raised in El Paso, you don't get that here all the time. So I think we're gonna stop and not keep everybody waiting anymore, and we're gonna introduce our very special guest today joining us. Her name is Ashley Alvidrez, born and raised in El Paso, Texas, and she is, of course, Miss Mexico.
Ashley Alvidrez, have a seat.
Hello.
Beautiful as always, and always a pleasure to see you.
Oh, thank you, Andrea. Hi, Tony.
Hi, Ashley. How you been?
Good. Thank you. Thanks to God, I'm fine. My family's fine. And how are you guys? I'm so excited.
We're doing great. You guys, we all have a little bit of past here, and these two ladies share, I think, a lot more in common because they're beauty queens, and so
Exactly.
yeah. Man, I'm a lucky man. Look at this, surrounded by two gorgeous women. Miss El Paso and Miss Mexico is here, so
No, and it is definitely a pleasure. But you know what? Before we even go into the pageant journey, I want to know who Ashley Alvidrez is. Just Ashley, without the Miss or any titles or competitions. Who is Ashley Alvidrez?
Well, to begin with, Ashley was not a beauty pageant person. She was not a girly girl at all. Tony knows that better than anyone since I started here in LAT Studio. This is where I told my mom I wanted to see what modeling was all about. Yeah. This is where I took my first classes, my first modeling steps in the runway right here next door. And I grew up in El Valle de Juarez. I was born here in El Paso, and living in a border city, you grow up in this multicultural place. It's the melting pot, and I believe that has bonded me and made me the person I am today. And I feel extremely proud of it. Growing up in El Valle de Juarez, I grew up in the rural area, the area where you see the people, they're agricultures, and it's beautiful. And then I cross the border, and I'm in the city. I'm in El Paso, Texas, and that's part of who I am. I love animals with a passion. You go to my house, I have like a zoo. I have a million animals. But it's one of the things I have a huge passion for aside from sports. Basketball was my thing. It was something I truly, truly love. It's my passion. And that's where I thought my life was headed. Tony knows that more than anybody. I told him, you know what?
Because I didn't want her to leave. I was like, no, don't leave.
Not for me.
Yeah.
I wanted to play college ball until suddenly I had this turn where I started to see Miss Universe a lot, Miss World a lot. And I said, I'm going to give it a try. I really want to see what I'm capable of and what I have in me. Because Tony left that fire in me, that little, wanting to dig.
He planted a seed.
Yeah. I was like, no, I really have to go for it. And I begged my parents to really let me do this. Because my dad is a huge sports fanatic. And he was like, no, just play college ball. You're going to get school paid for. It's a great route to take.
Yeah.
And I just no, that's not what I want, and I really want to go for this new experience. I really want to know what's it like to win a city pageant. Yeah. And that was my goal. I just wanted to see what it was like to win a city pageant. And so I go off, I cross the border, and I compete for Miss Ciudad Juarez. And when I get there, it's just a new experience, and the pageant itself, Beauty with a Purpose, it's something I grew up with. I grew up seeing my grandmother do social labor more than anything, work with people, and my grandma really left this passion in me that I wanted to continue. So seeing that a beauty pageant had that, that's when I was like, no, you know what? It's definitely a yes. So then I win Miss Juarez, and I was like, oh my God, like how did I win? I don't speak like perfect Spanish and nor perfect English. We live in a border city where we speak Spanglish. That's the norm here.
Yeah.
And so everybody was shocked. They're like, how can a person with because I have a binationality, I'm thankful for that. And they were saying, how could a person like that, a pocha, because that's how they call us pochos, win?
Yeah.
And so I go off to the state pageant. I win Miss Chihuahua. And then that was even more shocking to me.
I remember
I
that
had a lot
day.
of work to do. You texted me that day. You congratulated me. You were so happy, Tony, and
Yes.
I was so
I
happy.
think we all were.
We were like, what? She's.
We're all jumping up and down.
Yes.
But, hold on. Before we go into the more juicy stuff, before you went to Miss Juarez, because I know I met you in pageants here in El Paso, and I don't even know how many years ago that was. I want to say maybe 5 years, 4 years, not too sure. It's been a long journey. But you started competing for Belleza Latina, right?
Yes, that's
Yes.
the one my mom, she put me in there. Like, my mom, she was the one that wanted me to go through, like, the American route. And my family, they were like, oh, it's because you're, like, a Latina and you're perfect. And I was like, fine, like, you wrote me down. I'll just try it, like. But I still wasn't, like, sure of it because I was into sports. Like, that was my route. I really wanted to go for
You were a jock.
And if I remember
was.
correctly,
You were a jock.
if I remember correctly, you were still, always up there, even when you were competing here in El Paso. I mean, you were always in the
That's
top
crazy, though,
and
because I was, like,
everything.
I would go to the Belleza Latina practices, like, in the car. I would get there, take off my basketball shorts, my socks, my Jordans. Like, I would take off everything and, like, try to transform as fast as I can, like, and get into heels and walk. And I was like, oh, it was kind of tiring, but I think it was worth it. It was worth the experience and the knowledge you gain from something small that really turns out into something big.
Absolutely. Do you still have your J's?
Of course I
Yeah.
do.
Do you play? Like, do you keep kind of like your?
I
your rhythm?
haven't since everything started. It was like a roller coaster, and that roller coaster, it's slowly coming down, but it still hasn't. I mean, our lives are itself, they're full of roller coasters. Every human being has their ups and downs, and right now I'm barely having a pause in my life. I've been traveling like crazy, and I haven't been able to pick up a ball and tell my friends, let's go pick up a 1-on-1 or let's go play.
Isn't that crazy? Like,
That is
beauty,
crazy.
like.
You know what? But I love that. I love that because you are just so real and so true to who you are. And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people, when they think of pageants or beauty queens, they think of, the tall, blonde, skinny, kind of airhead type of girl. And that is totally the opposite of what a beauty queen is. I mean, you truly are a true beauty queen because you're true to yourself. You know your value. You have morals. You care about your community. Of course, you're gorgeous, but not only that,
Thank you.
you can play sports and you are smart and you still go to school. So that says a lot.
And
So
you're public speaking.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm like.
definitely. So
Christ.
you're setting the bar pretty
Yeah.
high for whoever comes next.
How old are you, Ashley?
I turned 21 in December.
21. You know what? There's something that you mentioned right now, and I think Andrea also touched on it. I've always been a little oblivious and out of the loop with what pageantry really is. And speaking with Andrea and listening to you and then talking to your mom in the previous year or months, this is real social work. Like I'm blown away by the amount of good deeds that you've done. I remember not too long ago, I think it was October, November, she was losing sleep because she was going to feed or take blankets to the immigrants down at the bridge. Am I right?
Yes, you're correct.
And I was like, wow, like this is something that I think comes with your family. I know a little bit of your mom. Your mom and I went to
We went to high school.
went to high school
Andrea, 'cause
together?
you didn't know.
Yeah, we went to
They're
high school together.
bulldogs, horrible dogs.
You're a Scorpion, right? You're Horizon.
Yes, I graduated
Okay.
from Horizon.
And then we have a Blazer here.
Blazer, go Blazers.
Yeah.
Never forget about the Blazers.
And your mom, I think, I know for a fact, she instilled all these great morals and values in you. But you ran with this, man. I mean, you've gone above and beyond. Like, explain to us a little bit of the things that you've done throughout your, this title that you hold?
I could tell you a whole list, but I believe one of the most important things is working with your family. Without my parents, they're like my spinal cord to me. I wouldn't be who I am, Tony, how you mentioned. My mom and my father have guided me and helped me throughout this journey, helping other people. Without their help, I wouldn't be able to help. And the most surprising thing that you wouldn't believe, it's not that they learn from me or other people learn from me trying to help these people. It's you learn from the people you're helping. You learn from the children you help, from the mothers and parents that go through this lifestyle. And it is incredible. When I first started, I mean, I was helping my community, El Valle de Juárez. I'm proudly from there. Le mando saludos a toda mi gente. Because they're always saying, and they're a huge support system to me.
Cool.
And I would help them out there with my grandma. And when she passed away, que en paz descanse, me and my mother, my family, we kept going, doing the stuff she was doing, helping the elderly shelter that they had. It was a creative shelter that they had so they wouldn't be upset about being abandoned and alone. So we continued that. When I won Miss Chihuahua, I was introduced to the Raramuri community. It's an indigenous community that lives in the Tarahumara Sierra de Chihuahua. It's way out there. I mean, you have to travel 6 hours and by foot. There's no roads.
Oh, wow.
There's no roads at all.
There's not a
For you to
donkey
get
that
out
can
there.
give you a lift?
You can. But they are incredible people. They live up to their beliefs and their values, and it's extremely beautiful. I mean, when you cross the border to Juarez, you get to see some of them. You get to see the women wear their skirts. They ask for money. I mean, that's their lifestyle here. We're trying to introduce them to use their lifestyle, to use their knowledge, to sell it, to profit. So we could start selling like worldwide, not only here in our nation, in Mexico and the U.S., but worldwide, so people could get to know their culture, their beliefs. And we help them taking clothing, as much food as we can. Hopefully we could get a water system, an electrical system out there, because they live completely out there in the Sierra. I mean, there's nothing.
Yeah,
There's,
absolutely.
we are lucky to have water
Blessed.
at our hands. They have to go down to a river and be thankful that there's water in a river. If there's no water, they have to wait for rain to fall in their jars that are made of clay, barro, and for them to be filtered out and to be able to drink it. Most of the children, I spoke to a lot of little girls, they don't get to go to school because ever since they're small, they have to learn how to work. They have to learn how to bring money home so they could have a bread on their table. And it is just incredible. And coming from a border city, we face immigration. It's something that as soon as you cross the border, it's something you see. And becoming Miss Juarez, I got to cross the border a lot more than I was accustomed to. I walked it so many times, hundreds of times. And seeing that, sadly, I saw many things. I got to see people cross the river and be stopped at the fence with children. And it is just something like that touches your heart. Something so impactful that you say, like, that could have been me.
Yeah. Oh, it's so
just
moving.
hard.
It's so moving. I'm sorry that you saw that, but you know, it's such an inspiration, you know, for you to have gone through that and speak about it, because a lot of people are oblivious to it. They have no clue that this is existing. Like, this is real, you know, and
That was my purpose when I went to Miss World.
people like you with the stage, with the platform, should be doing what you're doing. And man, I'm blessed to be here with you and share this, because I know you have an amazing heart, and God put you in this position because you're able to share these words. I know that Andrea, I've been speaking to her. The more we work together, the more I learn about her and pageantry. And God put you guys in the right spot. Like, you guys are good-hearted girls and perfect for the actual objective, which is speaking of these things, you know, letting people know that, hey, we need to move. We need to do something about this. Be aware of it.
Sometimes we forget
Yeah.
to be thankful about the simple things we have in life.
Yes.
Definitely. And I think from everything that you've said, that's a lot, you know, for people to take in at home, because of course that is the job of a beauty queen, you know, to be vocal, to bring awareness to issues that many people sometimes neglect or don't want to accept. So thank you for all of the work that you've put in. and for all of the people that you've helped and touched. And I hope people at home understand that you don't need a crown and sash to go out and help. You don't need a crown and sash
Well
to see the
said.
problems that our world, is facing. Every single person wears an invisible crown. Tony is wearing a crown right now, and I see it. We're all kings and queens, and we have the power to make a change. So I feel like sometimes people hear these stories from beauty queens or people who are wealthy, etc., and then they put that barrier up or those excuses, and they say, oh, well, you know what, they have a crown and sash, or you know what, they have the money. But you don't need any of that. All you need is the passion. All you need to do is care. So thank you for that. And before we go, I do want you to tell us a little bit about, really quickly, briefly, your best experience at Miss Mexico. Of course, probably winning was probably part of that, but tell us a little bit about that.
I believe winning was one of the most amazing experiences. It was like a dream. Actually, that night I couldn't believe it. Still, the following week I couldn't believe it. But one of the most beautiful things are the friendships and sisterhoods you get to meet. I still talk to every single girl, and it's just incredible. As I've been traveling to every state, I get to see the girl, and it's just amazing. You get to see your sister, their family. They just receive you with their arms open and tell you this is your home for you to come to every time you come.
Jesus.
And it's just incredible. That's one of the best experience. I mean, it was just having fun with friends. It's like going to a party with 32 girls, like beautiful, amazing, strong, talented girls from all over Mexico, and just having fun with them. It's just a party, a gathering of girls that are just trying to make a dream come true.
Absolutely. I'm going to ask, your boyfriend is here with you today.
Yes.
And he doesn't want to be on the camera, but I'm going to ask him if he can just quick little sneak peek of the crown.
Well, just get your hands if you don't want your face to come out.
You can bring it. There you go. Oh, my goodness.
And I know you told us it's really heavy, right?
It is heavy. After a while, it starts hurting.
Oh, I'm scared to go.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Ooh, boy.
Ahí lo pongo así.
See. You want to grab a closer shot here? There we go.
That is basic. Yeah, I can definitely see why it's heavy.
Wow. Amazing. And Ashley, you probably visited. You want to bring me the case real quick so we can put it back in here, Salvador? There we go. There we go. What was I going to say?
We
Lost my
lost
train of
our
thought.
train of thought. We just got distracted by this beauty
We got
right
distracted
here.
by it.
And
Anyway.
it's losing a lot of stones because
Oh.
I often take them off to give it to children that they get really excited with the crown and they're full of dreams and illusions. And I remember that used to be me. That used to be I used to be a child that looked up to somebody, and I always I take them off and I give it to them so they could have a little memory. So I'm sorry.
Really?
Losing stones.
Actually, I remember what I was going to say.
Amazing.
Is part of your duties, do you have to travel within the year? Do you have to go travel every state in Mexico? Have you done the majority? Are you missing?
I have. I'm missing some of them, a lot of them, like half of them.
Okay.
Almost to be exact. But yes, I get to travel all of Mexico, and it's just incredible. Every state has their own culture, and it's crazy. They have different food, the music's different. Up in the north, you have banda
Yes.
and corridos and everything, and you go down to the south, and it's marimba and salsa, and it's just like Mexico. It's its own world,
Yeah.
and I'm proud of it. I'm proud to be the representative of Mexico, of my border city, and to be out there in the world saying I come from the border city of El Paso and Ciudad Juarez, and I'm representing Mexico, the
Absolutely.
diversity that everybody wants in the world to come visit.
Absolutely.
¿Vas a sacar?
Is covering her face when she speaks. So thank you. Well, did they call you Chava? Okay, Chava.
They do.
Chavita. Okay. Well, I think we're getting down to the end of our interview, and I'm extremely happy for you, and we're blessed that you're representing an entire country, and that you're from here, from the Sun City. And what more can we ask for? A lot of people have been doing, great things and speaking for El Paso. Khalid is there, and Jones is there. A lot of artists, and then we have Ashley Alvidrez that people need to know about, and all the great things that you stand for.
You.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, Tony, you couldn't have said it any better. I mean, we're super proud of you. And I know right now there's not an exact date for when the Miss Mexico pageant is going to be.
No.
But I'm sure whenever that time comes, there's no doubt in my mind that this girl right here is going to continue doing the amazing work that she's already doing, and probably even bigger things. So we really look forward to continue cheering you on and being there for you,
Yes.
and supporting you throughout the entire journey. So, before we go, maybe in 3 words or a sentence, tell us what is next for Ashley Alvidrez once she turns in her Miss Mexico crown.
Get my diploma.
Yeah.
Absolutely, definitely make my parents' work and effort for me to be able to attend school pay off and still continue to be the inspiration to children that education is the key to success more than anything, and to be able to tell them I got my education and so can you, and be able to promote that.
What better example can you get?
I absolutely love it. You are so transparent, so humble and caring, and we absolutely love you, and it's an honor to have had you join us here today.
Thanks for inviting me.
Appreciate it.
No, and thank you to everyone at home who has stuck with us and who had, the pleasure of getting to know a little bit more about our very own Miss Mexico, Ashley Alvidrez. We wish you the best of luck,
Absolutely.
and of course, everyone at home, stay safe, continue practicing whatever you need to practice to stay healthy. Everyone nowadays has their own thing going on.
Home workouts.
Yep, home workouts. That's right. But thank you all for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.
See you guys later.